rights programs. And just to go over there, before we go over there, a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Rosita Turner, and I am the current manager for the Airport's Office of Compliance and Inclusion. And before that, I was the lead compliance officer for 13 years out of 16. That's how you can tell how long I've been at the airport, right? So I would say to you that I've been doing this for even before I went to or I came to the airport, because before that I was with the Department of Justice Affairs, the Cuyahoga Department of Justice Affairs. There, I have been in the budget portions or aspects of our pass-through federal grants. So kind of go around the rules and regulations of the federal programs either way. So now let's dive into this. These are our points of discussions. The Civil Rights Act of 1964, and then we go to the Cleveland Airport, and of course the resources. Now, the civil rights are all over the place. They are now implemented in every place. That's including the airport. So in 2022, the Federal Aviation Administration, which is the airport is under, had mandated every airport sponsors to submit their Title VI non-discrimination civil rights programs. And that's what it calls the title plan, the community plan, and the ADA. So before we go that, we are going to dive on the Title VI non-discrimination first, if you don't mind, because everything is going to fall in place after that. Next. Now, civil rights, the story of civil rights goes way back, now, even before the Emancipation Proclamation that was done by then President Abraham Lincoln in 1863. Oh, that's a long way. Now, so as that I will not put myself into problem, I am not going to talk about 1863 until 1963. Disclaimer. So let's jump to 1963. Then President, I should say, after the March on Washington for the Jobs and Freedom, then President John F. Kennedy called for a meaningful civil rights bill. Well, unfortunately, he was assassinated in that year. So then President Lyndon Johnson proposed a legislation and national security and called to pass Kennedy's bill. Well, it passed. And that's what it called. It was signed in 1964, and now that's the civil rights of 1964 that we know now. So there are 11 titles at a glance. 11 titles that's comprising the civil rights of Civil Rights Acts of 1964. Now, I don't think you want me to read all of this, right? Right?
What year did they add sex to it?
Oh, let me get to that one.
Okay.
All right, next one, please. Now, this one is what I would like to talk about. This is where we stay, because this covers healthcare, which means mental health is also covered in this one. Every airport sponsors covers this one, because there is a little story on this one. Okay, so again, there are 11, and thank you for not letting me read. Okay, next one. Okay. The airport is under the 49 Code of Federal Regulations, or in short, the 49 CFR or Title and they call it the 49 titles. So in that regulation, it is a collection of all federal rules and regulations that covers the airport sponsors. Now, Title VI is also covered for the healthcare. The airport has all of this. So not only we are covered with the Title VI, also the age discrimination. I believe this is your question, Madam.
No, sex.
Sex. Okay, and then this one in here and all of the below. Now, in the 60s and the 70s, there was a discussion as to expand the discrimination, the civil rights to add the age and the disability discrimination. We're going to go through that under the American with Disabilities Act. Okay, but in that race, and there are a series of laws they talk about that because they wanted to add additional civil rights on the age and the disability discrimination. So the airport, these are what covers them. Us, I should say us. So, all righty, next slide, please. Now, just to show you who is managing the civil rights, the airport's federal compliance programs. Currently, at the airport, we have this 6 civil rights compliance programs in there. This one in here just came just recently. These two, again, came in 1964. The plans that goes with this came in 2022. Approved, submitted and approved by FAA. And again, we are under the Federal Aviation Administration or FAA. Okay, so aside from that, we also have the Davis-Bacon. This is for the workforce. And this is where we are. Big responsibility, right? Big titles, right? And yes, it comes with a big responsibility. Just these two alone. Okay, next one. Now, like I mentioned a while ago, in 2022, the FAA had mandated every airport sponsors to submit their title plan. What is in the title plan? That is the plan, how we're going to manage or how we're going to comply with the compliance with the civil rights at the airport. It includes LEP, which is the language English proficiency, the limited English proficiency, the again, the complaints, the disabilities, the non-discrimination, everything is in there. And it was signed by our director and submitted to FAA. This is available to the public if you would like to have it. It is in our website, and all you have to just go in there if you really would like to know what the airport is doing about non-discrimination and the ADA. Next one, please. Now, you're probably going to ask me who is covered, right? This one in here. Especially this one in here. If you're going to look at this one, they are under the Air Access Carrier Act, for the ADA. But just for an illustration, these are the passenger airlines that we have, the cargos, and right now there are, for 2023, 5,200 employees at the airport. They are all covered with that non-discrimination ADA civil rights laws. This is the forecast for the 2024 passengers that we're going to have. Big one, right? So you would think, okay, what is the possibility that there will be a complaint? Right? What is the possibility? I can only, wish there's none. But that's not the point now. So next one. Okay, in order for us, for the airport to guide our passengers, those who are covered, we have to have a poster saying, okay, guys, if you have a problem, this poster is all over the place. There are probably about 15 of these. Concourse A, Concourse B, Concourse C. Well, forget about D because it's closed. And then also it is available at our website. And I put it in here, so just in case you would like to read, and it's in there. Spell it out in there. Okay, next one. Okay, like I said a while ago, I was hoping there will be no complaints, right? Because look at this, how are we going to do that? Aside from those things that I put in there, the civil rights programs that we have in there, all those that I put in there, and then we're going to have a complaint. But let's be realistic. There will always be a complaint, right? So what happens with a complaint? For the Title VI, it goes to FAA. It has to go in there within 15 days of initial receipt, meaning if I got the complaint in about, beyond 15 days, it will not start there. It will start when I got it, meaning in my hands and read it and follow it up with the complainant. And then from there, it is investigated and then go to our legal department. From there, 60 days for that. And then written. There is also an appeal given to the complainant on that one. Now, you're probably going to ask me, what type of complaint would that be? Anybody who can tell me what type of complaint I received this non-discrimination Title VI? Every little thing. Yes. Some doesn't even include as a non-discrimination complaint. However, every complaint that we have, I have to do an investigation. I have to do a written report, and I have to do a resolution and upload it or give it to FAA. That's how strict they are in following to be compliant with the Title VI. So the airport, we are in good health. We are in good situation, right? Cool. Next one. I mentioned a while ago that there are two parts in that Title VI. One is the Plan 36 plan, and we are also including the adjacent affected communities to, adjacent to the airport. And we identified 5 of them. Now, Cleveland is one of them in here. However, downtown, it is far away, but it's it's far away, but it's close, if you know what I mean. Since the airport is city of Cleveland. So we are including them in there. But right now we have Rhea, North Olmsted Falls, we have, what else we have in there? Brook Park City. And how are we trying to let them know what we have at the airport? This one. We go out and there and let them know, guys, this is what we have in here, and we want you to participate in whatever we have at the airport and let you know that we're thinking about you. Something like that. Anyway, via outreach. A while ago, Dr. Wilson and I was talking about, okay, you're probably going to ask, how are you going to put all of this if we are doing something at the airport? Right now, we are doing the Terminal Modernization Development Program. What does it got to do with this, with the Title VI of the ADA, right? Well, it has something to do with it. Why? Because if we are doing something at the airport and then you're going to apply whatever it is we need to apply, then later on, if the construction is going to do, then you're going to take it out. That's a waste of money, right? So, but then again, if you are not going to put it in there, then you're going to get a complaint. So it's either or. So I have to make it sure that the legitimate complaint in there will be processed accordingly. However, there is always going to be a response, no matter what the complaint is. So now let's go to, I think we're going to do our ADA now. Yeah, ADA. I told you a while ago that ADA in a series of laws in the 60s and 70s had, the leaders thought that there was a need of additional civil rights for persons with disability. So that became there are lots of people in there, I should say there are lots up in there who are thinking about that, and they created the National Council for Disabled to find, to recommend to the president or to the Congress as to how they're going to improve the definition of ADA, of American Disabilities Act. So in 1988, the first legislation was presented to the 100th Congress. And then after so many amendments, of course, they're not going to, supply. They, as the leaders, the civil rights movements, the staff members of the U.S. Congress, the federal agencies for civil rights, you name it. Everybody is going to go in there and check whatever it is in that legislation that was proposed. And then they're going to negotiate. And then there will be an amendment. It took time. But then it happened. It happened. In 1990, just like in here, the federal civil rights has signed. It came to a law. That's a long time, isn't it? 1863, 1990, 80s, that's a long time. However, it became a law. So the ADA, just like I mentioned a while ago, in the 60s and the 70s, they added the definition of discrimination and added the age and the disability. That's why the ADA is structured based on the Civil Rights Act of 1964. No discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin. And then you add the age and the disability. So let me ask also, we're talking about disability. So what is the definition of disability? You ready? Okay, disability. Disability defines, in just simple words, disability defines as a person with physical and mental impairment that substantially limited them to act on a major life activities. And there's some more definitions in there, but the bottom line in there is that it's physical and mental impairment substantially limited them to do a major life activity. Question. Is kleptomania a disability?
It's what?
Kleptomania.
Yeah. It's a mental issue.
Well, accordingly, that is the exception to the disability
Really?
definition.
Wow.
You know what? So if the complaint and the investigation will show, hey, you can't do that. That's not a major life activity. Unfortunately, madam, they call that as not a part of the life, a major life activity.
Makes sense. I'm glad to hear it.
Makes sense. Anything else? Any other disease that's excluded in that definition that you can think of?
Stupidity doesn't exist.
It's stupidity. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Anyways. Okay, so it prohibits discrimination on the basis of disability, just as other civil rights laws basis on race, color, sex, national origin, age, and religion. So why is this law passed? To guarantee that people with disabilities have the same opportunities. And that's all over the place, and not only at the airport, all over the place that are covered by ADA. Let me play by that are covered by ADA. All right, next slide. There are 5 sections of the ADA. So this is the result of those. Remember, I told you a while ago that there are different series of laws in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and the 90s that went out in there just to clarify and advance the definition of civil rights, right? And they come up with this. The enclosed Title II is what the airport is following because of the federal funding that we have in there. And I believe, don't quote me in this one because I don't know, but if mental health is accepting the Medicare, Medicaid, things like that, they are also covered. And this one in here. Okay. All right, next one. Rehabilitation Act. Now, why did I put this last, before or after the ADA? Because the Rehabilitation Act is about federal contractors workforce. This is the first major civil rights for the workforce. Okay, there are 3 of them. Everybody probably, but the airport is under the section 504. I do not know if the hospitals are in here too, but just to let you know, our airport is within that ADA/section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. So this one came out first before the ADA because the ADA is 1990, this one. But again, this is for the airport in here, employment and things. Next one. Okay, in order for our airport to be compliant in the civil rights, we have, again, remember the poster I showed you a while ago and the website? Again, these are all in there. I just put it in here just to show you that we are trying to comply with the federal civil rights compliance program under the Federal Aviation Administration. We really are trying. So next one in here.
Next slide. Okay, sorry. Sorry.
Sorry. So in order to be compliant, this is the reason why you're seeing those signage in there. Used to be there's none, right? No signage in there. And this is one of the complaints that I get. How come there is no signage in there for a handicap or a disability? You'll be, no, it's not in here. That little sign. Anyways, with the wheelchair. So in every bathroom, family room, there is a signage. Actually, in each bathroom, there is a signage that is assigned to the handicap. If you see that little sign in there, that's for them. They have the priority to use that. Now, I added in here the mother's room and the lactation room for privacy, because I thought that's going to be under, whatever it is that we're doing, privacy. But here is the biggest thing that I really would like. Wish list. Adult changing tables. I I had a complaint about that. Why? How come there is no adult changing tables at the airport? Well, if you're going to look at our bathroom in there, tell me, where in that bathroom are you going to put the adult changing tables, right?
Sit on that thing.
What I was proposing, what I was proposing was a folded one, a folded one. And they probably just going to be in a locker. And then when it's needed, or that you just call a number. Oh, by the way, we have a dedicated number for the Title VI and the ADA at the airport. It goes directly to me. However, it's a dedicated number. You can call that number anytime because I have this city issued phone with me 24/7. 24/7. Okay, so that's my wish list. Right now, we don't have this one because again, we are trying to, the program that we have right now, we're trying to improve our terminals. And we are on the design phase of it. Okay, next one. The additions to that ADA compliance right now is the ADA table. Now that's my baby right there. Right now, again, there will be this one in here is a little survey. This one in here is for the phone for our wheelchaired passengers, or that they can use if they have a question or issues with the airlines. And again, it's a ADA compliant, and it's based on the measurement that the ADA is doing. There are about 15 of these at the airport. 2 at the ticketing level, 2 at the baggage claim, 2 on Concourse B, which is now North Concourse. 4 on Concourse C, which is now South. And then in the middle, we have 2. So this is going to help our wheelchair passengers or whoever wanted to use it. Right now, if you're going to go at the airport right now, it is empty except for this one. This is in the ticketing area. It is empty right now because again, we are trying to renovate the terminal, and putting everything in there, it might just disappear. It's already in a way where it gets broken, or it goes all over the place. Okay. Okay, chair signage. Oh, you already know about this chair signage. Each gate I have this one in here. That's for our wheelchair handicap. Next one. And the complaints. Like I said a while ago, there's no complaint, but that is impossible to wish. There's always be. Now, question to you. I got a question for you. The transport from the ticketing area to the parking lot, is that considered a responsibility of our wheelchair assistants?
What do you mean by
Where?
assistance? Like
The
somebody to push them?
Yes, ma'am. Our wheelchair assistants that, they take the passengers in and out from the ticketing area going to the gate. So my question to you, just in case, the assistance that the wheelchair people are giving from the ticketing area or the baggage claim to the parking lot, is that a part of the wheelchair assistance?
No,
You should.
No?
no, it maybe should be, but it's not. Should be, but they don't do it. Right.
No, it's not. It's not a part of the wheelchair assistance because the mentality is that it is the disabled person should be dropped off and picked up at the designated areas. Meaning, when I say designated, means at the drop off at the ticketing area and picked up at the wherever they want to be picked up, baggage claim or the ticketing area. Okay, next one. All right, there are 4 assistant wheelchairs that we have at the airport. Mind you, these are for the airlines to utilize. They have their own SOPs and they follow the SOPs at the airport and with the airlines as well. Now, how does that work? I get a lot of complaints about this. Sometimes their flights are delayed, meaning these 4 wheelchair assistants that we have, they don't stay in one place, meaning of the 100 people per shift that they wheeled inside and wheeled outside, sometimes they are not available. And because of things that's not no fault of their own, delays or whatever is the reason, they cannot perform their duties. And sometimes, like this one in here, the ABM, they probably about have 5 representatives in there. And when you go to the airport, sometimes you see them pushing or pulling 2 wheelchairs at the same time because, again, there are some instances in there that happens. So I guess I am going to advocate that if you need a wheelchair assistance at the airport, be patient, please. Because again, there are so many of that 10 million that we are expecting, and we only have 4, that will be really, really a lot. Yes, ma'am.
At the Cleveland Airport, are the assistant contractors or actual airport employees?
They are contractors.
And what kind of ADA training air trader actually?
They are going through the training with the airlines and with their own. Because before they can even function at the airport, they have to go through a series of trainings.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind? What?
Yeah, about how to handle, how to respond, and what are they supposed to be doing when they're willing, because there is some limitations in there. When they wheel the passengers to the gate, they can only stay at the door, the airline door, unless they are there is a request for the passengers to go inside, and the stewardess will know what to do. That's
So
the only
these are
time.
the same people that help with the aisle chair transfers, or these are not the same?
That will be the same people. Yes, ma'am. So it is, the wheelchair assistance, there is a limit in there. We can give all the assistance in there, and they are visible in every place. These are the pictures where you can find them. And some of the complaints that I get is that they cannot get any response to our request. Again, what I'm saying is that of that 10 million that we are expecting, sometimes we have to, wait a little bit. Yes, sir.
My issue with those employees isn't that I'm waiting. It's the fact that when they help me, they don't even know what they're doing.
Exactly.
They don't even know how to get the straps on and strap me in and tighten me down. I'm doing it myself. So they need to be paying me.
Tell you what, the next time you're going to get something like that, call me.
Okay.
26533. You will not miss that number because it's on the wall. Trust me. Any other questions? Okay, let's go to the next slide. And also, not only at the airport or at the terminal, we also have this signage all over the place. Now, here's a question for you. a passenger went and parked his car here. And then he filed a complaint because there was nobody in there. This was already asked a while ago, but let's see. There was nobody in there to wheel him to the ticketing level. What will be your reaction to that?
Not my problem.
It's not covered.
It's not covered. Again, mentality is that if you can park your car in there, you can walk through the, to the terminal. You may be a handicap. You were supposed to be dropped off.
No.
Drive.
Abilities to drive.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people drive themselves. Yeah.
But then again, with this one here, because again, it's an ADA thing. That is the mentality on that one. Plus, a wheelchair assistant cannot go far. That's the other reason why.
I think what we're saying is they're not necessarily going to get dropped off. They may have to wheel themselves all the way to the ticketing area.
Yes, ma'am. But then again, you have to wheel yourself. Yeah, but my thing is that just ask somebody to drop you off. It will be easier.
No.
Not everybody has that
True,
option.
not everybody has the luxury of having somebody to drop you off. Yeah, I understand that. I understand. Don't kill the messenger. So. Okay.
Now, can they help you if
Yeah.
you valet park?
Yeah, have them first.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, so is that a policy of the ADA or is that a policy of the Cleveland Airport?
It is a policy of the Cleveland Airport, and everything was spelled out in that website I gave you in there. So my suggestion is that take a little peek in there and see what are the requirements for the ADA. There's as far as the wheelchair assistance and the parking and the drop off and the picking up. Because right here, look at this one. I had one complaint at one time why there is no assigned dedicated space for handicap at the drop off and the pickup areas.
Drop off and fix.
Because those areas are all for passengers, no exception.
Just like not for parking, just for dropping off and picking up.
So, and everything in here, this one in here is really spelled out in that website. So again, you going to, if you have a plan to travel, just look up in there and see which one we can have.
It requires more planning like everything else in our lives.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
You had a question?
yes, I was just wondering, because usually when I'm traveling by myself, I'll drive and I'll do, valet park
Okay.
while I pull up.
Mm.
Now, can you get assistance when you valet park? From valet park?
When you ask me about, can you get an assistance from that part, what do you mean?
Like,
You mean you can get
So
a,
like people you saying who can take you to your gate and, assist you.
the valet, that's not free of charge, you know that, right? Okay, so if that was the question, then you can ask the assistance. However, when they park your car and then get it later on from them, then there's no.
If the person will assist from the ticketing counter to the airplane, they won't go into the parking lot, but will they come out to the valet?
Yeah. Yes, they
Yeah.
come out to the valet area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like to help with baggage, and like to help like take baggage and stuff to the ticketing.
You know what, I'm going to get back with you on that. If you don't mind,
Oh, no,
just
that's fine.
just give me your, information and I will call you back Monday. No, I will not be at the office. I will call you back. I will call you back.
Okay.
Okay, so just write it down for me, so as that next time I'm gonna get a complaint, at least I will know. Thank you for that question. Yes, sir.
I just had an issue, flying in Vegas, on the 17th of September. I was driving myself to the airport,
Mhm.
and there are like maybe 4 to 5 different independent shuttle buses.
Mhm.
And I went to a couple shuttle buses. The first one I went to, they don't have a wheelchair lift to even pick you up to shuttle you to the airport.
Okay.
So they referred me, they said, none of them do have those. You can go park at the airport and take the bridge over. So I went to another independent place and they didn't have a wheelchair lift on their shuttle van.
Mhm.
So I did catch the lady coming in. I said, ma'am, do you have a wheelchair lift? She said, no, we don't have a wheelchair lift, but we do accommodate people in wheelchairs where we take you and you send a driver with you to drop off. And they take the car back to the shuttle parking garage to park it. To return.
All right, let me clarify a question for you. Is
Mhm.
that at the Hopkins?
That's not, yeah,
Yeah, I did that as well before too.
yeah, it's a place called
You know,
Spark.
I
called
just,
Parking spot.
really?
Yeah, it's called the parking slot. I don't understand why shuttle buses at those places aren't ADA required to have wheelchair assisted advance, at least if not the whole fleet, maybe one on
Oh,
standby.
we should.
Because I did a check with those Seattle buses in there
Yes,
and they showed it to me. There was one, unless I missed one.
they don't.
Okay, I will get
You
back with
missed
you on
two.
that one too.
You actually missed
I
two,
will,
because the
yeah.
two that I went to, and those are the only two that I went to. The first lady said none of the shuttles have wheelchair lifts.
That's,
And then the
that's,
other lady told,
wow.
the other lady at the different, business said they don't have it, but they will accommodate me and, drive me over, drop me off, and then drive my vehicle back to the parking garage, which was great because I was running late for my flight.
Ooh, you just put me smoking my.
Check with the shuttle bus companies that are all around over there by Snow Road and all of that. None of them have wheelchair,
Okay.
on their van.
The cell bus that we have is run by the SP Plus Parking Management. That's the Seattle shuttle bus that we have. Now, if you're referring to the
Independent.
individual hotel shuttle bus, then
No, not the hotels. They just drive, they have the
Off-site
individual
parking.
companies. One company is called the Parking Spot. It's a yellow, black and white
Uh-huh.
bus. And they shuttle people from parking garages from their parking location to the drop off of the airport.
you know, I'm almost going to scream.
Yeah.
Because now you're telling me it's an independent, you said that the first time. I thought the shuttle bus with the logo, the airport logo.
No, not.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to, no.
Yeah.
So anyways, but those independent shuttles, you have to go through them though.
They have big companies.
Yeah.
These companies should be required to have
I-
wheelchair lift, at
yes.
least one out of the fleet.
I think she's saying you need to complain to that company.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can only cover the airports. The one with the logo, the CLE logo in there. Yeah, I'm going to scream at them on Monday. No, not Monday. But
Thank you.
anyhow, where are we? Okay.
You have to follow the money on that too, because if they're getting any federal funds or anything,
Yes.
then you got them. So you have to see if they're getting any support.
Okay.
Follow the money.
Okay, I think there's one more slide. Oh, the complaints. Now, if there's a complaint on the non-discrimination for the Title VI, there's also one here for the ADA. The only difference in there is that on the Title VI, we have to give it to FAA ASAP. For the ADA, we have to compile them in our, let's say, database for this. For FAA's instruction, they will come and check and see what did you do, things like that. We still have to let them know though what we have done. So if the complaints are received, it's gotta be within 180 days. And timely fashion, of course, and the option, if the resolution that we give the complainant is not admissible to them, then they have the right to appeal to our legal department at the airport. Okay, looks like we are almost done. Yes, these are your resources. You can, if you are not satisfied with what the airport is doing, our airport, let me add that, our airport. These are your resources that you can find your complaints to. And the next slide will be another one. That's it.
Yep.
Ma'am.
But is there an opportunity for individuals to come to the airport to practice transferring into the transfer care and out of transfer care into like a seat, an airplane seat, so they can come and practice before they actually travel? I think there used to be something similar to that.
We did that.
We did that. Yeah, but I haven't heard of it being offered anymore.
Well, I believe if that was done before, it's through the airlines.
So like even individual.
Metro
I-
set it up, Metro set it up and had like a field trip for current patients to go and,
That way they're not stressed like day of, I don't know if I'm gonna do this, I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but you know, something that they can practice before showing up to the airport to do travel.
Well, actually, I have not heard of that as of yet. But it will be something that I can, follow up with the airline, see if they are giving out something like that too. Any other questions? Oh,
is there a reason why you didn't talk about the Air Carrier Access Act?
because that is for the airlines, madam. And I don't wanna, that is covered by the airlines themselves.
Covers the airports as well.
Yes, but my compliance thingy is for the complaints and how we're going to process the complaints. The responsibilities of the airlines is covered under the Air Access,
Air Carrier.
Air Carrier Access Act. Yes, so that's one thing that I don't want to go in there because that's theirs. I hope that. Any other question for me? So, okay, in conclusion, that is the federal civil rights compliance programs that we have at the airport that is in place right now. Any complaints, you can go here or you can go and look at those one on our website and one of those posters in there that has a direct line to put in your complaints, either by email, preferably email, because that will be a hard copy, but I would say a complaint that can be used. And there will always be a follow-up on every complaint, well, that I receive. Let's put it that way, because I am the only one who is for the airport now, the complaints for the airport. For the airlines, they have their own. Sometimes it comes to me and then I follow it up with them. So we work together on that. And for the sake of, again, for records, we have to have them, we collaborate with them. And also those Title VI plan, the community participation plan, they were given to everybody, the airlines, those who is covered thing there that I showed you a while ago. They were trained as to why we have to do what we have to do. And the next thing that I'm going to do is to train also to let the Cleveland Airport System, the employees to know about the Title VI plan that we have in there. Again, it's free for everybody. If you would like to see it, it's on our website and right here.
Is that website that you're talking about?
That is the website that you can go on. It's https://www.clevelandairport.com/traveler-info/accessibility. surprised you didn't ask me about the flights. The flights from the airplane, the incoming and outgoing, and those, those American airplane going internationally, are they covered with ADA?
Are they?
They are. They are.
Do you handle the complaints when the baggage department damages your wheelchair?
No, ma'am, that's for the airlines.
But the
Baggage.
baggage department are the airport.
If the, when you complain about the baggage, what type of complaint that is?
That they damage the wheelchair.
That will be for the airlines.
You have to take that up.
That will be for the airlines. I'm sorry. What I was saying a while ago is that if United Airlines going to Hong Kong and then to Singapore, they are covered by the ACCA. I said my conclusion a while ago.
The airlines are, but when you get there,
Yes, ma'am.
you're not.
Just making sure they're covered. You are covered. And if they're going to say, no, okay, ADA says we are covered.
I have a silly question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
You guys are modernizing the airport, you're redoing a lot of things. Are
Yes,
they
ma'am.
putting high-rise toilets in the bathrooms? Because that makes it much easier to transfer or even to use a catheter if the toilet seats are not on the floor.
Unfortunately, we are following the heights, how the heights for to put the toilets in there for ADA.
Okay,
Yes.
that was the question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
We have renovated some of the bathrooms in there, and it's on C, South Concourse. So it's pretty good, actually. And I am also monitoring that one, and I say, that's not good. Any other questions?
If that is our time, but if
Thank
there
you
are
very
more
much.
questions, we can hand out contact information and stuff. But thank you so much. That
Thank
was
you.
wonderful. Recording.